system, here's a scheme of that. So really each state who is involved, they have their own server taking care of the local road weather information observations, collecting that centrally. But then there is the central system, cloud system that has the collector services, quality checking, web portal, and so on. They have a 7-day data cache and metadata cache. And then what comes out really, what's available are these observations and metadata on the observing stations and quality flags, which will be also very important. Who is participating in this system? The green states are there. As you can see, there are some states in the south that are not yet, at least, most of them are more or less considering, but some are still missing. And why we are also going to Canada is that this project is extending to Canada in their western provinces, and it's also interesting to see how these two big states, federal states, work together. That's why we're interested in this aspect. They have a good portal, clarus/system.com, where you can go and see what's there and actually see some real observations. Okay, here is the map of the recent observing station map, and as you can see, there are some states that are really full of stations, some that are not so full. Of course, they are mainly along the main highways, but then now still the southern states are missing. But now, if we compare this now to Europe, we don't have a situation like this. We don't have a system where we could see the European road weather observations just with one glimpse. We do have nice networks in Finland, Sweden, Baltic countries, in Russia, here and there in Middle Europe, but nothing like this. We don't have a combined picture. Quality control system, we had a very nice presentation of this one in January. There was a Clarus workshop that me and Rene attended, and this was something that really we thought, oh, this is fine. It was very well and clearly done, the system that checks certain quality facts of each observation, and if the system automatically observes there's something wrong, there's a quality flag raised, and we think this is something that could be used more also here in Europe. Of course, systems usually have some quality checks, but this, we were impressed with the precision it was done very cleverly. Next steps for Clarus will be, they are still working on these enhanced quality control algorithms, mobile sensing research. This is something we have done a lot in ROADIDEA, these mobile friction observations, for instance, they are doing the same. And then this transition to operational service to NOAA. And well, what is then really important, and this was really the link to ROADIDEA, the system will provide an environment to innovate and create new and improved services. So when we went there and had our innovation seminar, we did something for them to help in this next step. So it's really happening there now. Very interesting to see what kind of services will be there in 2-5 years to come. Something then similar than what we are developing now very, very strongly here in Europe and actually everywhere. They have the IntelliDrive called idea of these cooperative systems where then the whole transport system will start to discuss with each other cars and infrastructure and observations and so on. So it's called IntelliDrive, and this is really one of the key developing focus areas there. And that's why when we had our first innovation seminar in Washington, D.C., we heard from them that they would like to concentrate on this topic. So we really innovated new services in this IntelliDrive world. We assumed that it will be there and what kind of services that would have. And then we had those, if you remember yesterday, Auli told us that there are different scenarios. We had those, this environmental backlash and technology the high-tech world and then the political turmoil world, and then really innovated the services in these three worlds. The other I mentioned this decision support systems. This is something also very actively now developed, and I think this is something we will analyze more deeply in our report. What kind of systems there are now and what are they planning to do, and really compare with Europe. Okay, in Washington DC, these are the best ideas that we got there. It was also a 2-day. Was it a 2-day seminar? Yes. Really it was a 2 days. Yeah, two half days. Yes, it was. By the way, usually you should have you should sleep overnight when you are innovating. Then your brain works very actively during the night time, and next day you are very clever. Okay, here is a little analysis. It says either yes or question mark. Does this idea use either mobile observations and can it create LBS location-based services? And as you can see, in most of these it's yes. And the reason, of course, is that we were really concentrating on the intelligent drive world, and that was natural. But of course, it also means that in tomorrow's world and very soon and just now, it's really on location-based services. The technology is there, and now we have a new platform of new innovations. Okay, let's see what we got there. Stay at home. Remember the very same we had. It's really on the agenda now because we should reduce transport to reduce emissions, and really advanced telepresence. How to improve this software? We have some software now, but sometimes a little bit clumsy. So how to do that very well? That would ease the congestion. Personal all modes in Delhi-Drive. Really these very tailored fine systems. Expanded environment observations, so really put also other environmental observations in the system. Repurposing existing infrastructure. This was really something. Because when we are changing the world, we of course have to live with the present infrastructure. We just cannot throw it away and build something new. So there are many innovative means that we can use the existing infrastructure in a new way. And I think this was a very good idea that we hadn't actually thought in ROADIDEA before. Maybe we have to think about it little bit. Decisions made by the system. Well, this is this decision making. How much the driver in the future can actually do in the car. Maybe he just sits and pushes a button and off he goes to the destination programmed in the car. So we'll see how automated the future will be. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Personalized trip planning, of course. Again, we had the same idea in ROADIDEA. Keep up the networks. These were the security, data security. These were the issues in the political turmoil world. Really, we saw that in any world the networks are really the key. They have to be there. They have to be up. And if the data flow ceases, everybody's in trouble. I mean, the modern society really is based on fully functioning data networks. So they are very important and must be secured in all situations. Of course, if it's trouble times, they are really vulnerable. Your secure route was an idea that if there is some trouble, some people, okay, they can pay. I say that if I choose this route, I pay a little bit, but I know that this is secure, and this may be one idea of the future. So these were examples of ideas we got there. Okay, this was my presentation. Do you have any questions at this point about the systems or the work we are doing? We are now going there. I'm going there next week, and others follow week after. We will have the seminar in Montreal, and then innovate with them what they feel are the key innovation targets in Canada. Okay, if no questions, what we do now, okay, we are almost on time. Ali will now explain today's system, how we are doing the brainstorming. And I hope she will end up a little bit earlier so that we have time to these elevator speeches with the posters. Then we have